Okay, here we are drawing a Porsche Abarth, lesson 5, and today it's all about shading. What I did was, if you didn't see it before, is I went ahead and drew in all the lower areas of the body, and that includes the front all the way around the front end. And because that is darker down there where the shadow is cast down at the very bottom edge of the body, you can see behind the rear tire that it's darker. I'm working on the front end now because, like I said, I wanted to show you what the full length of the body looks like so that you can have some idea of where we're going with this thing. But I also started to darken up the front end other than just drawing it in. I also started to darken it so that it'll be closer to the value that it's going to have when I'm done. You can see here I'm defining the shape of the car, and that's going off my pencil sketch that I have underneath this. And then I'm darkening up certain areas. Again, this is not as dark as it'll be at the end of this drawing in all likelihood. What I most often do is to kind of edge up to as dark as I want it to be. So I start out only medium dark, and then in many cases I'll end up quite dark. So I don't want to go too fast to do that. So I'm keeping it under control and just sneaking up on the value that I want. But it's coming along fine, and now you can see what the actual shape of the car is. And like I said yesterday, you can certainly see the evolution of the 911 shape in this car. It's very, very similar to it. But this is just such a smooth and gorgeous car. I really love it, and I always thought it was great before, but now that I see this in the drawing, it's really turning out great for me. I love it. Anyway, there you can see, like I say, that I'm working on the lower portion of it, and I'm trying to make that look as if it is within a cast shadow, so that it's not being directly hit by anything other than ambient light, not direct sunlight. So that's why the body does curl underneath there on the lower part, and because it does, then the sunlight doesn't reach it directly. So that's why it is darker. And this side of the car in the lower edge, the sun is obviously coming from the other side, from the far side, the left side. And what that's doing is leaving the parts that are down on the side over here on the right side, that's leaving them in shadow. So that's why I'm darkening this up. And all of this, of course, comes from the photograph that I have that we're using as the basis for this. But it's just a lovely car, and I really, really enjoy this one. So I'm just continuing to do the front end, and you'll see that about halfway down on the front is where that shadow is. Again, that's a rounded edge, and below it there's no sunlight hitting it directly, so that's why it's darker than it is up on top. And I'm just trying to get somewhere near the value of it. It doesn't have to be exactly right, but it's trying to make it head the right direction. We're not going to have time enough to do the whole lower edge today, but I wanted to get started and at least put a base coat all over the body on the lower part. So then we'll start working those values around. I still have to do the upper part. I have to do the two front fenders, and then we'll start working on actually getting this to the color values that we want for the final time. And then, like I almost always do, I use the tires and the wheels as the last thing that I do, because those are the things that draw people's attention to them, and they're probably the most intricate parts. Might not be the prettiest parts of the car, but they're the ones that have the most details in them. So I want to make those kind of a focal point and bring the viewer's eyes right into it. And that's why I leave those to last. And I really put a lot of time in them in order to make it work out better for me. Just about done on the front hood there. And then I'm going to come back and work on the side a little bit more. because we're getting down toward the end of this. We only have a little less than a minute of recorded time on here. Here we go. Okay, like I said, here we are working a little bit on the areas that need emphasis. Okay, and again around that rolled edge underneath the grill. A little bit more on the front hood, and then down on the lower edge of the body over near the right side door. Okay, that's about it for today. I hope you come back tomorrow. We're going to do a whole bunch more. Thank you very much. Bye.